All right, it's finals week. 40 wins, just the way you drew it up. Is this? I'm pretty sure you thought this is where you would be at this point in the season, hoped for. But what has happened that's allowed you to reach this point at the level you're playing right now?
Yeah. I don't know if it's I thought where we would be. I think we do a pretty good job of like where we are, and then try to work towards where we can get better week to week. And so I feel like maybe the last 3 weeks it's kind of like, oh, like we've got something kicking right now, and it's been fun to see that they start really getting after it. So we saw February we need some work on some pitching and some defensive stuff, and got into March, and where did consistency show up? Can we be consistent? And then, we kind of hit April, and then we started showing up more consistent and bringing more good mindset, and the freshmen start speaking up. So then it's like, man, like super cool that we're here versus like we needed to be here, and I think that's what's been really fun to see this team grow together and gain their confidence.
Do some teams that's like child development or team development just needs X amount of games and time?
Yeah, I mean, every team's so different, last year we had veteran pitching, so you could maybe work in to figure out how to win Friday, Saturday, Sundays, where this year we had rookie pitching, so we had to gain experiences, and then you got to balance the offensive mindset. It's just every year so different. So yeah, it is a little bit of team family development, but then we've got to identify it and develop it, and I think that's where it's been pretty cool to see is the confidence and maybe the trust in them to allow us to do different things, which we did last year and we're doing again this year. But I'm really impressed with our freshmen and being able to stay in it. I think Jason, he felt it a little bit this last weekend, a little bit, I think, because Sid was here and Sid handed her the ball that broke the RBI record, and it kind of became real at that point. And then, expectation comes in with that, and you throw expectation on there, and, it just changes how you perform every day. But if you just go to perform every day and have fun with it, then let that stuff take care of itself. So it's been really cool to see how they just work through all that.
What were the expectations for Jay Sunny as a true freshman for you?
And be a freshman. You come in and, we always said by the middle of the season, you're not a freshman anymore. When you're coming to the park, the expectation of how we're playing. And so I think, we get February and March in there and we're like, wow, like this kid's getting after it and playing some good third. And she's out there every day. She's out there every day getting her ground balls, every day in the cages. So she's very consistent in her preparation. It's just when you start to get experience a little bit in the bigger games, or maybe they exploit some weaknesses that you might have, like most people give into the outcome, where she gets excited about, oh, how do I get better at this? And so I think that part of it has been really neat. She'll come in with a plan, like I want to learn how to hit this, I want to do that, versus, oh man, like I can't believe I'm failing, and then running back into a hole. And she doesn't, she takes everything head on. So that part has been really good. So she's very mature in that sense.
Going into tomorrow, plays in the Gators. After the last one, you won by one rule. What would you expect from the Florida Gators to come here and you see, as far as being that they're still a top team, then it can go either way from either side?
Yeah. I mean, they had a good series against Georgia. They won the series against Georgia. They won in the last inning, the Sunday series, and so they got a lot of fight in them. I know what they're capable of offensively. They got young pitching, but they're growing young pitching like we're growing young pitching. So I expect, a really good ball club to come in here hungry. They got A&M this weekend. They're in the hunt for the SEC. We're in the hunt for the ACC. So we all got big pictures about the weekend, but we know how important the rivalry game is too. So there's going to be a big balance in that. But, I know they're coming in here ready to get after it.
I know you don't take success for granted, but just do you appreciate things maybe a little bit more being at this point, considering some of the rockier moments of relatively speaking, for a program of your caliber?
Yeah. I think I expected February to be like it was. What I appreciate is how comfortable the players, when they weren't performing the way they wanted to come in and try to be better and try to change game plans. I think when you get hit in the face and you get, there's a lot of outside pressure, and so when you're that young, that can really fold your confidence. And everyone on the team is like, man, how can I get better on the little things and keep growing on that to be better towards the end of the season. So I think the end of the season went in the mindset of all the players along with the coaching staff. So every day coming out here was working for the little things. And so I value that and, that process piece. And now to see that they value it, now they have confidence out of it is a lot of fun. So, yeah.
How much is the offense just, you grinded out a win the other day, but just the fact that the offense has kind of clicked to the level you want to, how much does that help the pitching kind of realize that they've got that level of help?
Yeah, well, I think you know, when you're going out there and giving yourself 2, 3, 4, 5 runs to work with as a pitching staff and a defense, it's really nice. It takes a lot of pressure off of a lot of pitches, so very nice. And the offense. I mean, I think there's been 1, maybe 2 games out of the 40 games, 50 games, like absolutely outstanding. You know, even in the games we lost early on, you know, they were still packing a punch in the 5th, 6th, 7th inning. So just very proud of them to not give in to the pressure of being the offense. You know, I think sometimes when you know, man, I have to perform at this level and score this many runs, it could really lock you up, and it hasn't. And I say Mudge, you know, really probably leads that off. She's just a quality at-bats person, and she has very good at-bats, and it doesn't affect her whether it's an out or a hit, you know. So she brings that juju into the dugout, and it just sends all the message to everyone else is just to keep piling good at-bats upon good at-bats.
Mudge is among the graduates
Yeah.
this weekend. You're gonna be on the road. How do you handle graduation? You guys gonna do a ceremony for them?
Yeah, we had a senior send-off celebration Saturday night, and so we did a little mock graduation there for their parents and family members. And so and then we had the athletic department had one this morning. So I think they're definitely feeling they're done with school, so they're professional athletes at this point. You know, it's funny. They're like, we can now drop the student because we were just an athlete at this point. You know, so they recognize that, but. Yeah, no, I think it was fun. This last weekend was a really good weekend, and we're very lucky that we were able to get the sweep, so everyone feels good about it. Family members were here. We had great weather. There was all really good things to have a good celebration.
Anything else? Perfect.